Hey guys, what's up? This was a story that I wrote 5 years ago. I always told myself that when I was ready, I was going to elaborate into something much longer. When I first came up with this idea, it was supposed to be Victorian, old-fashioned, wigs with the big dresses, carriages, castles, and horses, and even Old English. But instead, I decided to go into another direction. I kept the same storyline, just the imagery and time, also the cultures changed. I chose to put a lot of my Cuban roots into this and chose to make the story Spanglish. I'm really pleased with the choices I made. Well, here it is. Ana y las Tres, episode 14. Daniela, part 1. So the next 3 episodes that I'll be writing are all from the daughter's perspective. It's 11 years later, and they're all 16 now. This one is from Daniela's point of view. So the beginning of this, it's at the girl's birthday, and Anna decided to throw this huge party for them, inviting everyone. Anna pushed Daniela to perform the hardest scene to Swan Lake, since the dean from one of the most prestigious dance academies in New York was going to attend. She thought it would be perfect for her to impress the woman. After Daniela finished it, she bowed and everyone clapped. Her face didn't leave her mother's. Now, in the last episode, when Daniela was a little girl, she got into an argument with her mother, telling her that she didn't want to do ballet anymore. And Anna blackmailed her, telling her that if she didn't, she would never see her doll again. Daniela has outgrown dolls, but what she didn't outgrow is her mother's approval, expectations, and that's why, after the performance, she's still looking at her mother, waiting for that approval. Anna stood by the dean saying, "That's my daughter." The woman said she has a lot of potential. And even if Anna thought so, she would never allow her daughter, Daniela, to think that, because she has always got to be better. Well, that's happening. The 2 other daughters, Marisol and Valentina, are sitting at their table looking at what their mother is doing. Marisol is really starting to grasp who her mother is. Valentina, however, they both go at it in different ways. And when you see their episodes, I will further explore that in detail. Also, Valentina has been eating her feelings. The way Daniela is seeking acceptance from her mother with dance, Valentina is doing the same thing, but with food and her weight. Her mother wanting her to be more feminine with clothes. Also, you see kind of tension between Valentina and Daniela. It's because to Valentina, Daniela is what Anna wants her to be. So that's why there's a little bit of jealousy there. And that's why Valentina says, "Look at her. She loves the intention." However, Marisol looks at it differently because she sees Daniela looking at it and craving for that acceptance. So that's why she feels like she always needs to be perfect. She kind of feels bad for her. Also, the scene where Valentina says, "Aren't quinceañeras supposed to be 15? That just shows how Anna raised them to be very Americanized. When Anna comes by in her red sequins dress and glass filled with champagne, looking beautiful as always, she brings a photographer and she introduces him to her daughters, telling them he's doing a story about the woman of the mansion throwing fabulous parties, and he wants to capture a photo of her and her daughters in the mansion. When you see the photo being taken, to really grasp the feeling of embarrassment from Anna to her daughter Valentina, and that's why she has her sitting down in the photo, because she doesn't want her to reveal the pounds she's added in the photograph. You see that also when she's telling her to stop eating so much cake. Anna is boasting on how great Daniela's performance was and how the dean even said she had potential. Now, that may have come out like a compliment, but that means that Anna is expecting Daniela to work harder. I think the difference between Daniela and the other girls is that she's the most fragile. And yes, they care about what their mother thinks, but to a limit. You really see that in the scene with the piece of cake. Vanessa comes by the table and changes the whole atmosphere. All the girls are happy that she's come. Her sister was in the hospital. She has cancer, so that's why she was unsure. of making an appearance. When Anna pushes Vanessa away from the girls, she of course changes the subject and turns it around about herself and tells Vanessa that Gabriel is trying to come back to the picture. Vanessa can't believe it and says, "What are you going to do?" Anna says she's going to put a restraining order on him. She then explains further on what happened the day he left. But keep in mind that this story is from her perspective. I think the most intense scene in this episode is when Daniela is in the bathroom and she's making herself throw up because of all the pressure and stress her mother is pushing on her to be perfect in ballet. Ryan's outside the door and knows what's happening but never addresses it because he doesn't know how to. And although he loves her with all his heart, he wants her to be able to be stronger so that way her mother doesn't have so much control over her mind anymore. Stay tuned for the next episode.